They use strategy, you use hope, and that's why they win while you keep losing. The world is not kind to dreamers who only hope. It is kind to people who plan, people who calculate, and people who think like generals at war. Machiavelli understood this truth hundreds of years ago. He saw that most people move through life like sheep, following feelings, trusting luck, waiting for something magical to happen. But the powerful, the ones who rise above, they don't move on hope. They move on strategy. Think about money. Everyone wants it. Everyone hopes for it. People hope to win the lottery. They hope to stumble into the right business. They hope to go viral one day and suddenly become rich. But hope is weak. Hope makes you passive. Hope makes you wait. And waiting never builds power. The rich, the rulers, the clever, they play a different game. They design their money moves like a chess master setting up the board. Every piece has a purpose. Every risk is measured. Every loss is calculated. They don't just wish to win, they force the win through strategy. And that's why you feel stuck. Because you've been told, work hard and it will all work out. You've been told, stay positive, have faith, and success will come. But here's the ugly truth. The system was not built for your hope. It was built for their strategy. Let me paint the picture. Imagine two men standing at the starting line of life. One has nothing but hope in his pocket. He says, I'll work hard, I'll keep trying, and maybe one day I'll get lucky. The other man? He has a plan. He knows which industry makes the most money. He knows who to talk to, who to copy, who to avoid. He knows when to hold back and when to strike. Who do you think will win in 5 years? The man who hopes or the man who plans? Machiavelli would laugh at the first man. Not because he's weak, but because he's blind. Blind to how the world really works. Blind to the fact that hope without a plan is nothing but a slow death. Now let's dive deeper. Why is strategy stronger than hope? First, because strategy gives you power over time. Hope keeps you waiting. Strategy makes time work for you. If you invest your money with a plan, time multiplies it. If you build skills with a plan, time makes you sharper. But if you only hope, time slips away, and you wake up years later with nothing. Second, strategy kills emotion. Hope is emotional. You hope because you feel good. You hope because it's easier than facing the truth. But strategy is cold. Strategy is numbers, patterns, psychology. Strategy doesn't care how you feel. Strategy cares about what works. Third, strategy wins because it turns the world's greed into your advantage. Most people are desperate. They chase fast money. They fall for scams. They gamble. They panic. But a strategist? He sees their weakness and uses it. He buys when they panic. He sells when they're greedy. He wins while they lose. This is how Machiavelli would want you to think about money. Not as luck, not as chance, but as a battlefield. A battlefield where the unprepared get crushed and the strategist collects the spoils. Let's look at an example. Picture a man walking into a casino. He's filled with hope. He says, "Tonight's my night. I feel lucky." He sits at the table, throws his money in and waits for magic. That man will leave broke. Now picture another man. He doesn't even enter the casino. He owns the casino. He studied the math. He knows the odds. He knows that over thousands of games the house always wins. He doesn't hope. He calculates. And he gets rich not because he's lucky, but because he built a system where luck doesn't matter. That's the difference between you and the powerful. You're sitting at the table, begging for a good hand. They built the table and they're taking your money. Do you see it now? Hope makes you a player. Strategy makes you the house. And this doesn't just apply to casinos. It applies to business. It applies to investments. It applies to every part of money. The small business owner who hopes customers will come in, he shuts down after a year. The strategist who studies marketing positions his product and understands demand. He takes the market and grows. The worker who hopes for a raise, he waits 10 years and still struggles. The strategist who learns high-value skills, networks with the right people, and positions himself where the money flows. He gets paid triple, and he's still young. The person who hopes to save money, he leaves cash sitting in the bank, shrinking from inflation. The strategist. He studies assets. He invests in things that grow while he sleeps. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's strategy. Always strategy. Now, here's where it gets dangerous. Because once you wake up to this truth, you realize something painful. The world is designed to keep you hoping. Why? Because if you hope, you're easy to control. Politicians want you to hope. Bosses want you to hope. Billionaires want you to hope. Because while you're hoping, they're planning. And while you wait, they move. Think about it. Schools teach you to follow the rules, not to build strategy. Jobs tell you to work harder, not to think smarter. The media sells you dreams. Maybe you'll be the next star, maybe your turn is coming. While the real players are buying land, companies, and power. Hope keeps you trapped. Strategy sets you free. Machiavelli knew this game well. He said rulers must never depend on fortune alone. Fortune is like the wind. It changes. The ruler who depends on it will fall. But the ruler who builds with strategy will stand strong, no matter which way the wind blows. So here's the brutal truth you need to accept. If your money plan is built on hope, you don't have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, someone else is using their plan against you. But don't panic, because just like strategy can be used against you, you can also learn it. You can flip the game, you can stop being the player and start becoming the house. It begins with one simple step. Kill hope, build strategy. Stop saying, I hope this works. Start asking, what's the plan? What's the move? What's the angle? Stop dreaming of luck. Start designing systems that don't need luck. This is how you shift from being powerless to powerful, from being controlled to being in control. And once you taste the power of strategy, you will never again settle for hope. So how do you actually move from hope to strategy? How do you go from being the dreamer waiting for luck to being the player who sets the rules? The first step is to see money for what it really is, a game of power. Money is not just paper. It's not just coins or numbers on a screen. It's influence, it's leverage. It's the ability to bend reality in your favor. And just like any game of power, money has rules. The problem is, no one teaches you the rules. Instead, they distract you with shiny dreams. They tell you to hope. They tell you to pray for luck. Meanwhile, the ones at the top are not playing the same game. They're not hoping. They're planning 10 steps ahead. Look at history. Look at every empire, every dynasty, every family that stayed rich across generations. None of them trusted hope. They built systems. They built networks. They built strategies that outlived them. Machiavelli himself studied rulers who lasted and rulers who fell. The ones who lasted, they played with cold strategy. The ones who fell, they trusted hope, chance, and fortune. And fortune always turned against them. The same applies to money today. Let's talk about the psychology of money. Why do most people stay broke? It's not because they're lazy. Many broke people work harder than the rich. It's not because they're stupid. Many broke people are smart. It's because they rely on emotion and hope instead of logic and planning. Think about your own life. How many times have you said, I hope this works out? Maybe you hoped your business idea would take off. Maybe you hoped your boss would notice your effort. Maybe you hoped that saving a little each month would one day make you rich. But hope without structure is just gambling. Here's what strategy looks like in practice. When a strategist starts a business, they don't just hope customers will come, they research demand. They study competitors, they learn what sells and what doesn't. They position their product in the right place at the right time. When a strategist invests, they don't just hope the stock goes up. They understand value, they know why a business will grow, why it will survive, and when to exit. When a strategist networks, they don't just hope someone will help them. They carefully build relationships. They identify who holds power, who has influence, and who can open doors. Then they position themselves where those doors swing wide. See the difference? Hope is random. Strategy is calculated. Now here's the psychological trick. Most people avoid strategy because it feels hard. Hope feels easier. Hope is comforting. It feels good to say, maybe one day. But that comfort is a trap. It keeps you passive. And the longer you stay passive, the more someone else's strategy eats you alive. That's why Machiavelli always wrote about virtù. the power to shape events, not wait for them. Strategy is virtue, hope is fortune, and fortune is cruel. Let's go deeper. Money flows where systems are strong. Systems are just strategies put into action. If you don't build a system, you will always serve someone else's. For example, if you don't build a system for income, you will serve a job that someone else built. If you don't build a system for investment, you will rely on banks that profit from your savings. If you don't build a system for sales, you will depend on luck and word of mouth, while others crush you with ads and funnels. This is why most people never escape the grind. They live inside someone else's system. They hope for scraps. The rich, they own the system. Think about Jeff Bezos. Do you think Amazon was hope? No. It was pure strategy. He didn't sit there saying, "And I hope people shop online." He studied the internet, he studied consumer habits, he planned long-term logistics. He built a system so massive that now you are part of it, whether you like it or not. Think about McDonald's. Do you think they're the best burgers in the world? No. But they have the best system, the best strategy for scaling. They own land, they own supply chains, they own attention. Their power has nothing to do with hope. Now let's bring this closer to you. What's your current money plan? Be honest. Is it a system or is it hope? Do you have a plan for income growth that doesn't depend on luck? Or do you just hope your boss gives you a raise? Do you have a plan for investments that grow without emotion? Or do you just hope your crypto coin moons someday? Do you have a strategy for learning skills that the market pays big for? Or do you just hope someone notices your talent? Be honest, because until you face this, you'll stay trapped. But once you admit it, you can begin building like a strategist. Here's the formula. Study, design, execute, adjust. That's the Machiavellian formula for money. Study. Learn where the money flows. Which industries are growing, which skills are scarce, where are the gaps in the market? Design. Build a system that takes advantage of what you've studied. Don't just start a business. Build a business model that makes sense. Don't just save. Build an investment plan. Execute. Take action. Cold, calculated action. Don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait for a sign from the universe. Strategy means moving when the math makes sense. Adjust. No plan is perfect. But unlike hope, strategy allows adjustment. If something fails, you learn, you adapt, you strike again. This is how you shift from begging fortune to bending fortune. And here's the beauty. Once you start thinking this way, you begin to see the world differently. Suddenly you notice how people waste money. You notice how they fall into traps. You notice how emotions rule them. And you realize you no longer live in that prison. But don't get it twisted. Strategy doesn't mean you'll never lose. You will lose. You will make mistakes. But here's the difference. A hopeful man loses everything because he only had one chance. A strategist loses a battle but wins the war because he knows how to adjust. Think of it like a chessboard. A hopeful player sees one piece and says, "I hope this works." A strategist sees the entire board. He thinks 10 moves ahead. If he loses a pawn, he doesn't panic. He's already planned the checkmate. That's how you need to approach money, not as one lucky move, but as a long game of positioning. Now, let's talk about consequences. What happens if you keep using hope instead of strategy? The answer is simple. You become prey. When you move on hope, the strategist sees you coming. The investor sees your desperation and buys what you sell cheap. The employer sees your need and pays you less. The system sees your faith in luck and milks you with loans, fees, and distractions. You are the sheep, they are the wolves. And wolves don't hope, they hunt. So the question is, will you keep living like prey, or will you learn to play like a predator? The good news is, the choice is yours. Strategy is a skill. It's something you can learn, practice, and master. And once you master it, money stops being a source of fear. It becomes a weapon you control, a weapon that puts you in command. This is why Machiavelli would say, stop asking, what if I fail? Stop asking, what if I'm unlucky? Start asking, what's the move? How do I outthink? how do I outlast? Because once you flip that switch, you stop being the player and start being the planner. And in this world, the planner always wins. Now that you understand why strategy beats hope, let's break down how to actually use Machiavelli's formula for making money. See, most people hear strategy and think it's complicated, something only billionaires or geniuses can do. But the truth is, strategy is simple. It's just discipline mixed with foresight. And the reason most people fail is because they don't want discipline. They want comfort. Let's make it practical. Step 1. See the battlefield clearly. If you don't know the battlefield, you'll always be ambushed. Most people walk into the money game blind. They don't know how banks really work. They don't know how taxes eat their income. They don't know why the rich buy assets instead of just working harder. That's like walking into war without a map. Of course you'll lose. Machiavelli taught rulers to always study their terrain before making a move. The same rule applies to you. If you want money, study where money flows. Look at industries, at markets, at human behavior. Who is getting rich today? How are they doing it? What are the trends? That's your battlefield. Step 2. Stop thinking like a worker. Start thinking like a ruler. Workers hope for a paycheck. Rulers design paychecks. When you think like a worker, you're trapped in survival. You hope the job lasts. You hope the company doesn't fire you. You hope inflation doesn't eat your savings. But when you think like a ruler, you build systems that generate money no matter what. Ask yourself, am I building a system that pays me even when I sleep? Or am I trapped waiting for others to feed me? Step 3. Control emotion. Money is emotional for most people. They chase trends when they're excited. They sell everything when they panic. They buy what feels good, not what makes sense. A strategist kills emotion. He doesn't care about hype. He doesn't care about fear. He cares about probability, leverage, and timing. Think about the last financial crash. Millions of people panicked and sold everything. Strategists? They bought. They doubled their wealth while everyone else cried. That's why Machiavelli wrote that rulers must appear emotional but act with cold calculation. You can look excited, you can look scared, but inside you remain ice cold. Step 4. Learn the art of leverage. This is the secret the rich never shout about. Money doesn't grow by addition, it grows by multiplication. And multiplication only happens with leverage. Leverage is using other people's time, money, and skills to multiply your own power. When you hire people, you're leveraging their time. When you borrow money to invest in an asset, you're leveraging capital. When you use tools, technology, or AI, you're leveraging systems. Without leverage, you're stuck trading hours for dollars. With leverage, you break free. That's why the man who works 14 hours a day will still be broke compared to the man who builds a system that runs while he sleeps. Machiavelli understood this in politics. He knew a ruler didn't need to fight every battle himself. He needed armies, alliances, and influence. That's leverage. Step 5. Always play the long game. Hope is short-term. Strategy is long-term. Hope says, maybe I'll get lucky this year. Strategy says, in 10 years, I'll have built a machine that cannot be stopped. And here's the harsh truth. The world belongs to long-term thinkers. The rich don't just think about today's money. They think about wealth that survives for generations. They plant seeds today that feed their families 100 years later. So ask yourself, are you building something that survives 10 years from now? Or are you chasing pennies today with nothing tomorrow? Now let's talk tactics. The Machiavellian money moves. Positioning is everything. The rich don't chase money everywhere. They position themselves where money naturally flows. Think of tech. Think of real estate in booming cities. Think of industries that serve human desires. Status, convenience, pleasure. These rivers always flow. You don't need to dig a well. You just need to stand by the river. Appear weaker than you are. Machiavelli always warned rulers, never show your full strength. The same applies to money. Don't broadcast every win. Don't reveal your full wealth. Stay underestimated. Because when people think you're weak, they won't defend themselves. And that's when you strike. Use psychology against the crowd. The crowd is emotional. They move like sheep. When they're excited, they overpay. When they're scared, they sell cheap. Your job as a strategist is to do the opposite. When they rush in, step back. When they run away, step in. Build multiple streams. Hope is having one stream. Strategy is having many. If one dries up, the others still flow. That's why rulers build alliances, not just one army. That's why the rich have investments in different areas. Protect the downside. Strategy doesn't mean blind risk, it means smart risk. Machiavelli wrote that a ruler should never gamble the entire kingdom on one battle. The same is true with money. Don't put all your savings into one stock, one coin, one dream. Spread your risks, protect your core, strike when it matters. Strategy is not about moving all the time, it's about moving at the right time. Sometimes waiting is power, sometimes patience makes the strike lethal. The weak are always moving because they fear missing out. The strong wait, then strike once and win big. Now let's look at the impact of using this formula. When you use hope, you are reactive. Life pushes you around. Prices go up. You panic. Jobs disappear. You beg. Trends change. You chase. You're always reacting, never controlling. But when you use strategy, you become proactive. You move first. You see trends before others. You act when the crowd is blind. You protect yourself when storms come. That's the difference between a pawn and a king. Think of the moments when you felt powerless about money. Bills piled up. Debt crushed you. Your boss ignored your hard work. You prayed for a miracle. That's hope. That's weakness. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine having money flowing from different places. Imagine not caring if one stream fails because others keep running. Imagine being the one in the room who can walk away from any deal because you don't need it. That's power. That's strategy. That's freedom. And let me tell you, once you taste this, you'll never go back. You'll never again trust hope, because you'll see hope for what it is, a leash tied around your neck. Machiavelli's lesson is brutal but liberating. If you don't plan your wealth, someone else already planned to take it. You're either the hunter or the hunted, the ruler or the ruled, the strategist or the dreamer. And every day you delay, you're choosing to stay on the losing side. But the moment you shift, when you start thinking cold, building systems, controlling emotion, you step onto the winning side. That's when you stop praying for luck. You stop begging for fortune. You start bending fortune with your hands. That's when you finally use Machiavelli's formula for money. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous traps: comfort. Comfort makes people blind. You work a job, you get a paycheck, you eat, you sleep, you watch TV. It feels fine, but it's a cage. The world outside that cage is moving, and those who stay comfortable will never catch up. Machiavelli would tell you, if you are too comfortable, you are already losing. Strategy means you are always watching, always adjusting, never letting the world pass you by. Think about the rich. Do you really believe they relax all day and wait for luck? No. They may look relaxed, but their mind is working. They are moving money, testing deals, planning moves. They never fully sleep because the game never stops. They know hope is not a plan. They know comfort is a trap. They trade short comfort for long-term control. That's why their children inherit wealth, while most inherit debt. The poor man hopes his boss gives him a raise. The rich man builds a plan that makes him money whether his boss likes him or not. The poor man hopes the price of food goes down. The rich man buys the land that produces the food. Do you see the difference? One waits, the other builds. One depends on luck, the other depends on control. And this is why you must learn to see money as a weapon. Not paper, not numbers, power. When you have money, you can protect yourself. You can invest in skills. You can buy time. You can open doors that hope could never open. But when you only hope, you are left weak. Hope cannot pay your bills. Hope cannot buy your freedom. Hope cannot change your bloodline. Only strategy can. Now here's the brutal part. Strategy demands sacrifice. It means saying no to things you want today for the sake of things you will need tomorrow. Most people fail here. They want to party now, buy now, eat now. They cannot delay. But the strategist thinks long-term. He says, I will build first, then enjoy later. That's how wealth multiplies. That's how dynasties form. Machiavelli knew this when he studied princes. The weak prince gave away gifts to be liked. He hoped that would win him love. But the strong prince invested in fortresses, armies, alliances. He built power. When war came, the hopeful prince begged. The strategic prince ruled. You must choose which one you will be. So, how do you apply this formula in your life? Start small but precise. Write down your real costs: food, rent, bills. Then write down how much you want to make above that. That number is your freedom target. Next, ask yourself, how can I create a system that hits this target without depending on one boss, one client, one hope? That's the start of strategy. You may not know the full answer today, but when you ask the right question, your brain starts working differently. Second, study where power hides in your world. Maybe it's in real estate, maybe it's in digital platforms, maybe it's in trade. Don't just look at where money flows today. Look at where it will flow tomorrow. The strategist moves before the crowd. By the time everyone else runs in, he's already built his base. Third, stop wasting energy on things that don't bring control. Every time you scroll, every time you gossip, every time you chase cheap dopamine, you lose. Machiavelli would laugh at how easily distracted people are. The ones who win are not the smartest. They are the most focused. Strategy requires focus. Hope loves distraction. And fourth, build alliances. You cannot win alone. Even princes needed allies. Find people who share your drive, who want control, not excuses. Work together, learn together, move money together. Alone, you are limited. Together, you become a force. But choose carefully. One weak, hopeful person in your circle can destroy everything you've built. Now, some of you might say, but I don't know where to start. That's fine. Nobody starts with the full plan. Strategy grows with movement. Take one step, learn one skill, sell one service, save $1, invest $1. From there, build the next. Strategy is like a ladder. You climb one rung at a time, but if you don't start, you'll be at the bottom forever. The truth is, hope is easy. Strategy is hard. That's why most people stay broke. They choose easy today and suffer tomorrow. The strategist suffers today and wins tomorrow. Which one are you? Are you ready to suffer a little now to gain control for the rest of your life? Or will you keep hoping, waiting, and begging? Because the world doesn't care about your hope. The system doesn't care about your hope. Bills don't care about your hope. But the world respects power. The system respects money. And money only comes to those with a formula. So here is the formula, as simple as I can make it. Stop depending on luck. Build systems that create cash flow, protect what you earn and reinvest it. Use patience to multiply wealth. Always play long-term over short-term, that's it. It's not magic, it's not luck, it's not a secret, it's strategy. And once you see this truth, you cannot go back to hope. You either choose control or you accept chains. So I ask you right now, which side will you stand on? Will you live like the masses, waiting, wishing, hoping? Or will you live like a strategist, moving, planning, building? The choice is yours. But know this, every day you wait is a day someone else is using strategy against you. Remember, they use strategy. You use hope. And that is why they are rich and you are not. But from this day on, you no longer have the excuse of ignorance. You know the formula. What you do with it will decide everything.